One of the critical choices I made on my journey was to commit to what I call a two-way agreement. And that was between me and my sister and her husband. Now, since then, and that was when I was 20, 21, so very a long time ago, but I've since made other two-way agreements. Oh my gosh, we could spend so much time here. We're not. I just want to touch on this a minute. When I think about two-way agreements, they are when we are entering into an agreement with someone. I think about Vistage all the time in this category because you all have an agreement amongst each other. Your members have an agreement amongst each other. But these are agreements that we enter into with someone else or a group of someone else's. And often those agreements are predicated on the desire for something to be successful or the desire for someone, for someone to be successful. And the desired outcome requires actions on both parts. Give me your perspective on two-way agreements. And then if there's one that you would share that you've committed to.
Well, my perspective is I think they're vital to, two human beings connecting and having a relationship. And they can be simple, like they could be in the moment of you walk into your favorite coffee place to get your coffee. And you could look at the person across the counter and see them as a person taking your money and giving you your coffee, or you could look at them as a human being. And in the moment, you can create a two-way agreement of acknowledging them. I always look at their name tag. I greet them by their name. I've learned to ask them how they're doing. And what's amazing is, depending on where they're at, right? Because it's a two-way agreement. Most of the time, they get lit up. They feel connected. You smile at them, and you've just in the instant created a two-way agreement to treat each other as just a lift up as better human beings. So I'm learning that. I do it a lot better. I got in this weekend where the hotel got in the elevator. Say good morning to the person in the elevator. Ask them how they're doing. Boom, two-way agreement. I mean, some people don't. That's when I walk on the bike trail with their dogs every day. I say hello or good morning to everybody comes by. Some people are just happy and respond. Some people don't respond, right? And I'm not judging them anymore. Like, what's wrong with that person? It's like, hey, So the example of two-way agreement for me was, as I mentioned, when my daughters were growing up, Beth was taking care of the girls. I was missing my kids growing up, and she reminded me of that. My oldest daughter, when she got divorced when my grandson Parker was 2.5, I realized she had a challenge and a struggle ahead of her as a single mom. And I also look back and realize, hey, I missed so much of the kids growing up. So Parker, my grandson, he's getting ready to go to preschool. And so I made an agreement. It was a three-way agreement, actually probably four ways with Beth.
With Beth too. Yep.
Yeah, with Beth too. And Parker, and I said, I'm going to take Parker to school every day if I can. I'm going to be, and so we all agreed. And that became, I didn't even look at it as a job. I looked at it as gift and opportunity, right? To be part of somebody's life in a meaningful way. So for 10 years, I drove Parker to school almost every day, from the time he was 5 till the time he was like 13, right? 12. And what a journey it was, and what a gift it was, because those 15 minutes in the morning in that car with my grandson, watching him grow up to this young man, this intelligent guy, this independent thinker. And we had this fun thing for the last 5 years we drove together. We would play a song, "Oh, What a Beautiful Morning." Came, and I love the James Taylor version, right? So Parker and I would play that song. Sometimes he was in a bad mood. I'd just put the song on, right? And so we'd listen to the song, and all of a sudden the music lightens you up. And so today that's, Parker and my favorite song. So he's now off to high school. He's living with his father. So I don't get to do that as often. And I told Parker when that journey ended, I go, Parker, I'm gonna miss his 15 minutes of my day more than anything else. And he really has, not for my credit, for his credit, he's growing into an incredible human being. But I really feel like Beth and I and even Holly had the opportunity to show unconditional love to Parker and deep love for another human. I got a lot of hope for that guy.
That's wonderful, and a great example of an experience that I bet like you and Parker, and probably especially Parker because he was so little, didn't even know going into it what the journey and the experience would end up being, and the connection that you two have. And I think that's just really special. 15 minutes in the car, no interruptions. It's a commitment. Nothing got in the way, because lots of things could have gotten in the way. Beth could have driven him.
Yeah, well, and also I wouldn't let him do the shiny object thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
early on, before he could really have a conversation, but then I realized, wait a second, I'm missing, even when he's 3 or 4, there's an opportunity to, there's something
Yes.
in there that he could share, right? So we
Yes.
didn't do
Yes.
shiny objects and had a conversation. Sometimes it was silence.
And that is awesome too. Just allow the silence to happen, which I also think is an example of giving love. Because so often there's so much noise and everything going on in our lives, anyways. Just be in the same spot. As you said, even when you were talking about your members, be by their side, be by Parker's side. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Choose and Become interview series. To check out more episodes, go to www.trishkendallspeaks/podcast, or go to any of your favorite podcast channels, including YouTube, under Trish Kendall Speaks, and you'll find this interview and more. Choose and become.